What I want to do right now is ask you one of the deepest questions you've ever been asked. And that question is, who are you? Now, when I ask you this question, I don't want you to answer with the usual mask that you wear. I don't want you to answer it with the thoughts that flood your mind. I don't want you to answer it with your achievements or the roles you play. I don't want you to answer it with the labels that define you externally. Who are you beneath all of that? So what I want you to do, just for a second, just close your eyes and notice the part of you that is aware of all of that. The part that is aware of your thoughts. The part that is aware of your feelings. The part that is aware of the raw sensations. The part that is aware of your mind. Again, who are you? You may try to answer with your job, your relationship, your history. But notice, that's not really who you are. You know, the first time I was ever asked this question, I remember I was at a seminar. It's back in 2019. And the seminar was about maybe 60, 70 people. They split us up into groups of like, let's say 15. And basically what they would do is they would put you in a circle. And you would be by yourself in a circle and they would surround you. And they would just constantly scream at you. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? And then basically how you're supposed to respond is you just go into your body and whatever word pops up, you just say it. And I remember mine was, I am a bold, courageous, visionary leader. I am a bold, courageous, visionary leader. And it was cool. It was really, really cool. But my question to you, because you might have some characteristics too that you label yourself as, is that who you really are? And if you look really, really deeper, you'll notice that's not who you are. You'll notice that there's something deeper, something that's silent in the background that's observing everything. And a lot of us don't ever really get in contact with this part of us because a lot of us get caught up in objects of consciousness. What does that mean? What is objects of consciousness? There's only three things that your consciousness is really aware of. Your thoughts, your emotions, and the outside world. And a lot of us, we get so caught up in our thoughts and our emotions that we believe that what we think and what we feel is who we are. And we tend to define ourselves. I'm just an angry person. Or we define ourselves by our name. My name's Lou. You know, or my job. I'm a massage practitioner, certified personal trainer. I help people do X, Y, and Z. I remember not too long ago, I saw an interview with a rapper named Jay-Z, and they asked him who he was, and he answered it in some sophisticated way. And it's really, really interesting. His answer was pretty decent, but the fact of the matter, that's not who he really is. There's more to him. But the answer is super, super simple. Who are you? Your pure consciousness, your pure awareness. If you can learn to get in contact with it, you'll be shocked at how much easier, smoother, how much more in flow you'll be with life. Now, how do you get in contact with it? It's really, really simple. This simple exercise I tend to do maybe a few times throughout the day. All I do is ask myself, what am I aware of? So like right now, I'll say, what am I aware of? I'm aware of my feet on this ice, on the floor. I'm aware of my feet on the floor. Then from there, I say, what is aware of my feet on the floor? What part of me is aware of that? And when I look deeper, it's weird. I feel like an uplifting feeling. It's almost as if I'm leaving my body. And what happens is I start to get in contact with that more and more. So try it right now. What are you aware of? Again, there's only three things that you're probably going to be aware of. Your thoughts, your emotions, or objects of consciousness, things outside of yourself. And whatever you say, you might be aware of a thought. Like right now, I'm aware of the siren in the background. What's aware of the siren in the background? And whatever that is, get in contact with it. And this is not something you could think about. This is something all about feeling. A lot of us have lost our ability to feel life. Why? Because we're always stuck in our heads. We're always watching social media. We're addicted to dopamine, addicted to the next reel. Even a video like this, it's what, 5 minutes in. Most people aren't going to make it this far. And I always see a lot of people, they'll save it thinking they're going to watch it later. But the truth is, they don't have the attention spans to make it this long in the video. Now, to be fair, it could be that the video is just very, very boring. But at the same time, what are they searching for? Why are we on Instagram? We're all searching for a feeling. And what is this feeling that we're searching for? Happiness, bliss, inspiration, passion. But what is that? Believe it or not, it's just energy. And that's what we are. What is consciousness? It's just energy. We're made of energy. And a lot of people today, they complain about having low energy. And they watch all the podcasts. They do the sleep rituals. They do the perfect workout. They do the cold plunges. They eat right. Whether they do carnivore diet or they go vegan or they limit processed foods. And they still have no energy, no inspiration. They take the supplements and they still feel down. They still feel low. They still feel like they have no drive. And I was that way too for a really, really long time. And so I learned the secret to life. What is the secret to life? It's to just stay open. Stop closing yourself off to life. Now, what does that mean? I want you to notice that your nervous system, which is not you, by the way, your nervous system has a preferred way it believes life is supposed to be. What I say to a lot of people, and I usually go diabolical, I say that our nervous systems believe we're God. We get to make the decision of the way people are supposed to be. We get to make the decisions the way the world is supposed to be. And we all know logically that makes no sense, but our nervous system is not logical. Our nervous system is very, very animalistic. It's very tribal. It's very emotional. And emotions are very, very powerful for us, to the point where when our nervous system sends us signals, emotional signals, because it thinks something is wrong, we tend not to have the will to stay in the seat of consciousness, in our pure awareness of what we really are. We tend to get distracted and we tend to get pulled. Like, think about it. When you get angry, like, let's think about road rage. You get angry and then you scream at the driver in front of you. You know he's not hearing you. You know he's not hearing you. But why are you doing it then? Logically, it makes no sense to scream at the driver in front of you. And then what happens is you go to the office and you talk about the driver, and that's why you was late. And he spiked up your cortisol levels, and now you're all stressed out. Now you got to do your breathing techniques. You got to do loose stretching techniques to help you feel better. But the question is, why aren't you just feeling better? A guy cut you off. Can you be okay with that? Your nervous system can't, because your nervous system, again, believes it's God. It's the King. It's the Lord. Like, even right now, I just heard somebody scream. Somebody's screaming over there. Hopefully it's not dangerous. But the idea here is to learn to sit in the seat of consciousness. And how do you do that? Just ask yourself, what am I aware of? And what is it that it's aware of that? And if you consistently ask yourself this throughout the day, like all day, why aren't we just doing this all day? Like, think about it. Like, if I tell somebody to do this like all day, every, let's say, few minutes, just ask yourself, what am I aware of? Who is it that's aware of it? And go inside and find that seat of awareness. If I ask you to do that all day, people are going to say, well, I don't want to do that. It sounds like a lot of work. But what else are you doing? That's a very powerful question too. What else are you going to do? Because you realize the thoughts and the feelings that you're having now, they're not serving you. A lot of us are not happy. We're searching for happiness, when the fact is, happiness comes when we just remove the blockages inside of us. Now, what are the blockages? That's the trauma, the suppressed energy, all that trap stuff, all that fancy stuff that we like to talk about on social media, releasing trauma. But what it really is just learning how to release your preference system. You don't get to decide the way the world's supposed to be. I'm sorry, you're not God. I'll say it again, you don't get to decide the way the world is supposed to be. And if you can learn to do that, learn to just be okay. Learn to just be open to the world, open to the moment in front of you. Allow things to flow and pass on through. So how do we become okay? I just told you, we got to get more and more into the seat of consciousness, the pure awareness that we are, by asking ourselves, what are we aware of and what is it that's aware of it? So the biggest thing, the biggest reason why a lot of us is trapped is because of trapped emotions in the body. That's what's weighing us down. Because your energy is supposed to be flowing. You know, there's a big thing on social media right now about setting boundaries and protecting your energy. You don't have to do any of that. Unless it's actual physical threat to you, you don't have to do any of that. What, somebody says something you didn't like, somebody is mentally abusing you. Really? It's just words. Allow them to pass on through. Train yourself to be tough enough, to be okay enough that when somebody is talking shit to you or saying something you don't like or is offending you, be okay enough to allow it to pass through. And if anything, those are your greatest teachers. Because what they're doing is they're stimulating your impressions. The yogis call it stored samskaras. That's actually controlling you. They're stimulating this and giving you the opportunity to release it, because the truth is you don't heal doing my stretch routines. You don't heal in the massage therapy room. You don't heal in the seminar room. You don't heal with your therapist. You don't heal on doing a ayahuasca ceremony. Because the truth is you may feel good in those moments, but then you go off into real life and you can't handle the driver in front of you. Or you can't handle the fact that it's snowing outside. Or you can't handle the fact that the girl, she's wearing the same dress as you to the party. Like, you can't handle these things, but you do all of your practices, you do your meditations, you do your stretches, you do your guided releases, you take your microdose on your mushrooms, and you take the weed, and you do all these spiritual things, but for some reason you're just not getting better. You feel better in the moment, but you're not getting better. So how do you actually get better? You learn to release this trapped stuff. Again, remember, your nervous system, it believes you're God. You're not God. Accept that. You're not God. I'm sorry for people that say my thoughts create the reality, and this, it really doesn't create the reality. There's much more going on than your thoughts. So there's a lot of people out there, oh, my thoughts manifest in my reality. I get it. I get it. That's what you focus on. It is activating something in your brain called the reticular activation system, which lets you see reality the way you want to see reality. So this is what people mean when they say I'm speaking my truth or I'm seeing my truth. It's not speaking your truth is not the truth. And usually when people talk about speaking their truth, it's always funny because it's like they think because they speak their truth, they could just rub people the wrong way or just be assholes or be mean. That's what people usually mean when they say I'm speaking my truth or I'm being authentic. I gotta rub people the wrong way. I gotta stand up for myself, which is fine. It's a step, I guess. But why not just be okay? How do you be okay? Again, you gotta release some of that trapped stuff inside of you. How do you release some of that trapped stuff? Super simple, man. All you gotta do is just experience it. It's always trying to come up. Again, the driver in front of you cuts you off. That's your opportunity. You start to feel anger. You start to feel the need to want to scream at somebody. How do you know you're angry? Usually, it's in your body. This is why I like this page, the somatic stretch page, because what it does is helps people become more and more aware of their body. You just become aware of it. And then step 2, that's the first step. Accept it. Be okay with it being there. You're disturbed. Can you be okay with disturbance? Yes, it's painful. But again, pain is the pathway to freedom. Pain is the pathway to freedom. This is what Jesus meant when he said you need to die to be reborn again. It's very metaphorical. I know a lot of Christians might get mad when I say that, but the Bible is very, very, as far as I take it, I interpret it, it's very, very metaphorical. It's the same thing with Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve fell out of the Garden of Eden. Why? Because they ate from the tree of good and evil. What it really means is they ate from the tree of labels. What does that mean? Labels is I get to decide what's good and what's bad. Now there is things as pure evil, like killing and doing whatever. But there's certain things today that we define as bad, but another group of people might not define it as bad. That's when we fell out of the garden, is when we start labeling things. Another thing is we become aware of the ego. When God came looking for Adam, And he told Adam to come out. What did Adam say? I'm naked. And what did God say? Who told you that you're naked? It's been a while since I read the Bible, 2021. But who told you that you're naked? What does that mean? Adam became aware of him, his self-concept, his ego. He became aware of his body, he became aware of his thoughts, he became aware of his feelings, and he left the seat of consciousness that he actually is, the pure awareness that he is. Again, who are you? You're not your body. You've probably heard that. You're not your mind. You're not your thoughts. You're not your feelings. And if you can learn to constantly, throughout the course of the day, every 5-10 minutes, try it. What am I aware of? I'm aware of this idiot just talking on the phone, this Chinese guy trying to tell me what to think. I'm aware of him. What is it that's aware of him? Where is it? Where is it located? Feel it, experience it. And if you start to do that consistently throughout the day, trapped energy will come up and will start to flow. This is the stuff that you resisted. And it's going to be painful because it's going to touch the seat of self. Your actual consciousness is going to touch you. The reason why it's there is because in the past you resisted. It touched you. It felt painful. The vibration came in. You pushed it away. You pushed it away. What I'm asking you to do today is just accept that it's there when it comes up. So when the driver in front of you cuts you off and you feel anger, you feel it in your traps, you feel it in your jaw, you feel it in your neck, and you want to do something, relax. Stay open to it. Accept that it's there. Allow it to flow. And over time, when you continuously practice this, you're going to release it. And when you release it, when you start releasing all of this stuff, you don't have to do what I'm saying, which is, what am I aware of? Who is it that's aware? You naturally sit in the seat of consciousness. And that's what you really are, that pure awareness, that spiritual being. All right? So, hopefully you enjoyed this. If you enjoyed this, please leave feedback in the comments. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.